Imagine standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon, one of the most awe-inspiring natural wonders of the earth. It stretches 277 miles long, up to 18 miles wide, and a mile deep. Now picture trying to fill that vast, jagged chasm with something as simple as a deck of playing cards. It sounds like a fun, impossible challenge, but when you crunch the numbers, it becomes a wild thought experiment about scale, resources, and the limits of what's physically possible. The Grand Canyon's volume is estimated to be about 147 trillion cubic feet. If you're not familiar with that huge number, think of it this way. If we wanted to relate it to something more relatable, let's put it into perspective. It's like filling a space equivalent to about 2.7 quadrillion gallons of water. That's enough to supply billions of people with water for years. A typical playing card measures roughly 3.5 inches long, 2.5 inches wide, and about 0.08 inches thick. Converting these measurements into feet for consistency, that's approximately 0.2917 feet long. The volume of a single card is then 0.000405 cubic feet. Yes, a single card is tiny, less than half a thousandth of a cubic foot, dwarfed by the massive volume of the canyon. Now, divide that total volume of the canyon by the volume of the card. 147 trillion cubic feet divided by 0.000405 cubic feet equals 364 quadrillion cards. That's 364 followed by 15 zeros. To put that into perspective, that's more cards than stars in our Milky Way galaxy, at least 400 times more. But even knowing this, it's hard to visualize just how many cards that is. If you spread out these cards, stacking them in a single continuous pile, the height of this stack would be enormous. How tall? The height of which would be 29.1 trillion inches, or 44 million miles. Imagine stacking decks of cards that reach almost halfway to Mercury. Now the real questions: how long would it take to produce all those cards? Let's say we have a super efficient factory capable of producing 10,000 cards every second. That's an incredibly fast pace, yet it would still take 1.15 million years to make them all. And that's assuming continuous, flawless production, which is impossible in reality. Resources and feasibility. Can we even get close to producing that many cards? The answer is emphatically no. To make 364 quadrillion cards, we'd need billions of tons of paper and ink, far beyond what Earth can provide. We need sophisticated manufacturing infrastructure spread across vast areas, energy and environmental resources, enough to power countless factories for millions of years. In fact, the total amount of paper used worldwide in a year is about 400 million tons. The paper needed for just a fraction of these cards would far exceed global production for decades, if not centuries. Beyond the staggering raw material requirements, the environmental impact of such a project would be catastrophic. The production of billions of tons of paper would require massive deforestation, which destroys ecosystems, releases carbon stored in trees, and contributes to climate change. The energy needed to run factories at that scale would be immense, likely relying on fossil fuels, further worsening environmental problems. Transporting billions of tons of paper and cards across continents would also cause enormous logistical headaches. Trucks, ships, and trains would be needed to move such quantities, leading to pollution and additional environmental damage. And then there's the problem of storage. Constructing a facility to produce and hold into the millions of miles of stacked cards, practically impossible. Even if we somehow could, the sheer logistics of stacking and continuously adding to this card mountain would be unfathomable. Imagine trying to do all this with enough resources, energy, and space. It's like trying to fill every ocean, mountain, and city with paper. It's so huge that it's beyond even the most generous estimates of human capability. It's a big numbers exercise that shows just how small and finite our planet and our resources are compared to the scale of natural wonders and the universe itself. In essence, trying to fill the Grand Canyon with playing cards is an impossible task, not just because of the sheer number of cards, but because of resource limitations, environmental impact, and logistical nightmare. It's a fun mental exercise that highlights how enormous natural features are and underscores our finite resources. Hope you enjoyed that video. It was something different. I had that idea about the cards filling the Grand Canyon for a while, and now I'm just decided to post that idea. So if you like that, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. If you want to see more videos like this, say something. Till then, it's Black Gambit. See you later.